Let's move quickly along to match point 2 on this program, and that's got to do with the all-round ability that Dan Christain has brought to this Pune attack. Remember, the big money went to Ben Stokes, but Dan Christain has been doing a job. And why? Look at the numbers. They tell us a story about this Australian all-rounder who's been a pretty good player for his teams, whether it's Big Bash cricket or in the IPL. Look at that economy rate. It's 7.25. Akash, 45 seconds for you. Clearly, even though there is not a lot in the wickets column, you need a player of this kind, and Christian's been doing that.
And primarily because he's been bowling in the middle overs. He's been entrusted with that kind of role. Has not bowled in the first 6 overs. It's the Indian recruits and 1 over from Ben Stokes in the top 6 and maybe an over from Tahir. But never it's been the case with Dan Christain. He has though bowled 1 over towards the death overs, 17th or the 18th over. He's bowled a few times. I think he's been outstanding, because if we were to pick holes in this RPS unit, it was their bowling, and Dan Christain coming good with the ball has just changed things around quite nicely for them. So Dan Christain, in my opinion, has been one of the important keys of their success this season.
All right, so Akash there just talking to us about the importance of a player like Dan Christain, who you at the start of the tournament don't think is going to do a role, but then they surprise you. What he was talking about, Akash, was his role in the middle overs. We'll put that up and then go to Brad about that, because Brad's obviously played a little bit with Dan Christain over the years. See, a lot in the middle overs, just what Akash was saying, Brad. He's taken 4 wickets in that phase, but 15 of his, 23, 28 overs, so more than half his overs coming in the middle overs. Identified role, is this what he is traditionally known to do in all sorts of cricket, even in the Big Bash, for instance?
Yeah, definitely. And look, I'm very happy with his final overs there at the death too, going at 7.37. Now that's very handy for Pune Supergiant, because at the start they didn't have a lot of depth in their bowling, and they'd be licking their lips that Daniel Christian has stood up. I think it's the slower wickets here in those middle overs as well, with an older ball where the ball gets a little sticky in the wicket, and when he wants to bowl a little quicker too, change it up with a faster ball, he's not too slow. He can hurry the batsman up, so he's got great variety there. The wickets over here really suit him, and the other thing is too, they have the luxury not only of his overs, but the way he bats in those final 4 overs, because he's one that could come out, clear the fence from ball 1. He's very confident with the bat, so they've been very lucky with Christian.
Yes.
You know, there is though a case for us to even now break it down further. Who bowls the 19th and the 20th over, because Dan hasn't bowled there. We do take death overs as a chunk from the 16th to the 20th over, but if you bowl only the 16th or the 17th, your economy will never be 9.5 or 10 and over unless you bowl in the bottom 2. So Dan hasn't bowled there. He has been given a role, and he's fulfilled that role to quite appreciation and to some precision.
Yes.
I think moving forward in the finals too, looking at that, knowing that Dan Christian's going to bowl the 17th or 18th over, most likely, teams will probably sit there.
Stokes is not there. Yeah, there'll be an issue there.
Yeah, I think Stokes might stay back.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know, but their rumour is that Stokes might stay back for the finals. But if he doesn't, I think a lot of teams will be sitting there going, right, Dan Christian's going to bowl that 17th, 18th over. The other bowlers are bowling well in the death. Let's try and take him on if we've got wickets in hand. So it might be a little different kettle of fish for Dan Christian in that.
Right. So there's a rumour there that Brad Hogg's hurt, which might actually give us a new story going forward. We'll find out more as we go along.